So years have passed since I lost my son. And as a father, I don't remember who I was before. The fact is that I'm better now. And that's the hardest thing. The hardest thing is that it took me losing my son to become the man that I am, a better man today. And that notion is what I refer to as the Joseph paradox. It's God's love taking a terrible situation and in his extraordinary power using it for good. And that is one of the key elements of what we're going to be talking about today, which is, years have passed. The honest truth. This exists as kind of a follow-up to Does It Get Any Easier video. I'm Brian West. This is Heart of the Father. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. I remember during tragedy and the aftermath how little energy I had. I had no energy. I didn't want to have conversations. It was even hard to read. So my hope is that these videos are something that you can put on and listen to, and hopefully it allows you to process and give your mind a bit of a break, and hopefully receive some insight and support from someone who's been in it. I pray for the subscribers on this list, so please subscribe. I'd love to add you to that prayer list, and please like this video if it's a blessing for you, or you think it. Share it if you think it would be a blessing for someone else. Yeah, so years have passed since I lost my son, and the honest truth is that things have gotten better. And I started by talking about me not recognizing the person I was before. That's true. It's just it leaves such an indelible mark on your psychology, on your heart, on your ambition, on your purpose. And then from there, you have to try and understand who you are. I've done 2 videos now, choosing who you'll become, and the last one was letting Christ reshape trajectory, which is the follow-up to that, which speaks all about what I did to find out where my family, what trajectory my family would be on in the aftermath, and allowing the Lord to heal us in time, being patient. There was a lot of patience that had to come into play. We had a lot of healing to do, especially for myself. Finding patience for myself was particularly challenging. But eventually, hope did return. There was one day where hope returned. My wife and I, something happened because we have our beautiful daughter who was just a shining light during this time. A shining light that God just really used in our life. And one day we left. I don't know how long it was after, but something happened in the house or outside, and we both found ourselves laughing. And it was so unusual. So it felt so foreign. And then, things continued. And one day there was this feeling of hope returning, but very sensitive to it. Joy returned. And finally there was a sense of peace that came back, when I never thought it was possible. Never thought it would be possible again. But it did. The Lord brought good things into our life since then. It's an interesting thing. We'll talk about the Joseph paradox in another video. but it's difficult to know that there are such good things in our life now that would not be here if that experience didn't happen. To give you an example, we were in a pretty raw place, as you can imagine, afterwards, and we had a couple of friends who were dog breeders, and they breed golden doodles. I never thought of myself as someone who would own a golden doodle. I always wanted to be a dog owner, but I grew up with dogs, but I never thought that I would be an owner of a golden doodle. So of the litter that they had, I picked this one that was Merle, which is like a blue-gray kind of color, really kind of unusual, unique for golden doodles. They're usually always only ever, black or orange. I think it's orange or gray, I think. But so this Merle colored, dog, and we called him Chaplin, or Chappie for short, or just Chap, Happy Chappie, who was just, his energy was next level. I mean, I was really not in the mood for it when we brought him home, but he ended up being a lot of fun, and he's with us. Obviously we still have him, and extraordinary addition to our family. My daughter loves him, and he always goes with us to on our outdoors trips and things. And so that's kind of like a very basic example of what I'm talking about. We would never have that dog, or probably even a dog in general, if we had not had lost our son. Something that is a little bit more real is this fact. I learned, my wife actually taught me about this and told me about this, that it really doesn't, I kind of already knew this, but so women have eggs. Once fertilized, you have pregnant, and then you have a baby. And then, afterwards, we still continue to have these periods of time where, the body lets go of more eggs, of eggs that are potentially unique individuals, all different. And so this is real. And it's hard, but there is a possibility that if my son had survived in the period of time before my wife got pregnant again and had another son, that he would not have been born. And he's just an incredible, amazing little guy, our son. And so I would never say, if we hadn't have lost our son, we would have gained. We would not have had our son now, because that would be while that's true, while it's possible, I should say, the truth is that that's a goodness in God's omnipotence that he delivered. When I kind of came down on the word redeemed or redemption, the last one. But in the Lord's goodness, he created this new trajectory, this new path, and this new way. And so the things, even viewing your life in terms of this comparison, like, if I hadn't have lost so-and-so, then this wouldn't have happened, becomes unfair. It becomes unfair because it's an entirely new trajectory. Life is forever changed, right? So it becomes unfair. It's like apples to oranges. It's unfair to say, well, if this didn't happen, then this wouldn't have happened. That goes without saying. Your life is forever changed. You're not even the same person that you were before. So it goes without saying that things will happen that wouldn't have happened before. So it's an unfair comparison to kind of judge the way life is now before the tragedy, before the trauma. But it goes without saying that everything is new now. The old path is completely gone. That's gone, right? This is how I perceived it. I know sometimes I can kind of slip into projection, and I don't want to say this over anyone, but this was my experience and my understanding that hopefully brings some insight. So this is what I refer to as the Joseph paradox. We'll talk about this in the next video. So these things begin to happen, and our son is just, my goodness, my heart is just so big. He's so phenomenal, so wonderful, so powerful. He is a ball of joy. It's incredible. And in the same part of my heart now, I look forward to meeting my son that I lost in heaven. He's there, I know, and he's with Jesus. And I will see him and meet him and see how wonderful he is one day. Years have passed. The honest truth is that my memory and my hope for the person that I lost has grown more mature and developed more. I have more space for emotions toward the experience that I didn't have in the immediate aftermath. And I have more space for love, for the memory, even the memories of the hopes that I had that I didn't have before. I mentioned this in one of my other videos about the guilt. It's the video on the weight of guilt. But the idea that people would want to cling to pain because it could feel like a betrayal to the individual to move on and be happy. And I mentioned in that video that I want to encourage you that, in fact, by moving on and healing, you arrive at a place where there is a more fullness of love for the memory of the person, not a dulled one. You know, time has not erased the memory of the people I've lost and my son. It has made it more full. It is a fuller love of memory and hope. And so hopefully that's an encouraging word for you. There, like the loss of any loved one, are times that I can get really sad. And that's appropriate for people that you love. That's not dysfunctional. It's not depression. It's genuine. And so I absolutely still will miss the son I lost. Absolutely. And that's okay. That's love. But we live with immense joy in our family now. Oh, God has brought about healing. He has, and I'm so thankful for that. And if you're in a place where you feel stuck, if you're in a place where you can't imagine what it would feel like to have that feeling again, then be encouraged. The Lord is working. And I'll be praying for you. It does get better. If you allow the Lord and give it to the Lord, He'll take it and He'll bring you to a place you never thought. But He will restore hope, joy, and peace. So that's it for the video today. A little bit shorter than usual, but hopefully that's been a blessing to you. Please like it if it was something that was helpful. It'd be a tremendous blessing for this channel. Subscribe so you can get updates on when our new videos are coming out. And I know that a lot of my videos are teaching videos. I've learned that some of these are about the experience to support people who are going kind of in the midst and going through it. But I've learned that a lot of my videos are bringing teaching. about kind of and teaching and correction to, I think, areas that are underemphasized. And so I'd love to know what you think about that, and if that's something that's valuable to you. Otherwise, have a blessed day. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted, and he saves those who are crushed in spirit. Thank you for watching my video, and be blessed. Bye-bye.